Across Australia, New Zealand and the South Pacific, this is the week's Adventist News in Focus with David Gibbons.
Hello, thanks for joining me. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency and the Seventh-day Adventist Church Women's Ministries Department have launched a joint advocacy program to stop violence against women. The End It Now campaign calls on Adventists around the world to work in their communities to stop violence against women and girls. The campaign is also aiming to gather support in the form of 1 million signatures, representing each of the 200 countries with an Adventist presence. The signatures will be presented to the United Nations. New Zealand's Adventist Development and Relief Agency has commenced a recovery program in Samoa after September's devastating Pacific tsunami. The program follows immediate relief work in the country and will take place in the most devastated areas of the south coast of the island of Upolu. The reconstruction and recovery project will see local unemployed young people take a leading part in paid work to rebuild their communities. This project will be followed by a series of training workshops to increase community preparedness in the event of future emergencies. There was a surprise audience during a mission trip to Papua New Guinea by Adventist Church members from Western Australia. The team of 19 had planned to run kids clubs, teach craft lessons, repair sewing machines and hold a public evangelistic series for the local township of Ramu. But they ended up with more than 1,000 church members from around the region also attending the activities, some having walked for 2 days. 18 people requested baptism at the end of the evangelistic series conducted by Derek O'Hare. The mission trip was a Partners in Mission initiative organised by Western Australian Adventists and church members in Ramu. And in brief, members of the New Zealand Fire Service paid a special visit to Longburn College recently. Tired of waiting for contractors to repair the college's wind-damaged steeple, the caretaker decided to call in a favour with his fireman friends instead. The repair was done on the day for free. She may be 80 years old, but she's young at heart and constantly asked to tell children's stories at her local church. Benny Nerinx was a Japanese prisoner of war, and many of her stories are about how God protected her. Benny has now been honoured for her 50 years of volunteer service to Pathfinders, the Adventist version of Scouts and Guides, at Queensland's Maroochydore Adventist Church. And Adventists in Dandenong, Victoria have found a unique way to connect with their community. More than 600 kids turned up for their Kids Fun Day, which included real live reptiles, the pinnacle of terror and football. Members from the Polish Adventist Church could not believe how successful the event was in raising their profile in the community. So now they are planning to run the next event. Now, Record editor Pablo Lillo joins me. So what's in this week's edition of Record, Pablo?
Well, David, a large group of Adventist tertiary students from several Pacific nations met in Fiji to attend the 4th National Adventist Students Association Convention. And around 50 global mission projects have been conducted this year, and despite budget cuts, 66 out of the 75 project applications for 2010 have been approved for funding.
Okay, and that's in spite of the global economic crisis.
Yes, but the economy is having an impact. You can read all about that in the Record this week. And there are lots of other good stories as well, as from places like Bensdale, Mildura, Logan and Auckland.
Oh, thanks, Pablo. And in the full half hour of In Focus, I interviewed popular evangelist Doug Batchelor, who is currently in Australia. And you can watch In Focus online too. Well, that's the news for this week. Thanks for your company. I'm David Gibbons.